Where are we headed, Uncle Steve?
Big sky.
Great state of Montana. Yes, sir. All right, we just checked out this Barnes. Swing by and take a look at their stuff. They have some awesome taxidermies, very friendly staff. Shout out to Alan. Official morning here in Montana. Gonna go out there not expecting much. Best of luck to you hunters out there. I'm gonna go ahead and drive up to the mountain this morning and go take a look around. We're doing inventory. Got about a week here, so we're gonna mess around a little bit and see what we can find. Got all the bags loaded up. I'll throw our boots on. See how it goes. Officially out to the spot. Came up from that road. The road closes over here, so we're gonna hike up that road and take a look around. It's not focusing. Yeah. It's still rolling. Talk about day one. Steve, what happened on day one?
Yeah, so we're just trying to get the lay of the land, hit up the spots that we think that we might see elk, and we covered a lot of ground, driving, looking at the areas, trying to get an idea where all the hunters are, and it looks like we're in the right place. It's just a matter of timing on whether or not we're going to see any signs. But we did see signs as we hiked in. And our first day we did 4 miles.
Yeah, I'd say every day we put in a good
minimum
amount of miles.
So we put a lot of boots on the ground, at least for the first 3-4 days, and we went in hard, and we went in high and low. Drove around, got an idea of how all the areas are, topography itself, where all the hunters are.
Yeah.
And it looks like there's a lot of hunting pressure currently.
It is day 2, trying out a new spot. See how it goes. Hopefully we see something, hear something, get a response back from the bugles. Hiking in, let's go.
Day 2, we started off again, looking at some clear cuts. We looked at some awesome country. This huge hillside, but we were glassing it all day. I just saw a bunch of trails going up and down that hillside, but still didn't see the elk themselves. But on our way back home, we're working our way back home, popped our tire and all that, and then replaced the tire, and then we're working our way back to the main highway. We saw this nice bull with a few cows, and he was a really nice 5x5, I'd say.
Like this size.
But that was it for day 2. And then day 3, we went up to some other area to go look for. We covered a lot of country. We looked at up and down every elevation of the mountains and stuff, try to get a better idea of where the elk were at. And after the entire hunt, I think we came to the realization that they like steeper areas, a lot of timber area, a lot of area for them to get cover and all that too. But day 2, we didn't really find much.
Sounds like mossy right above it.
However, on Tuesday, which is day 4 now?
Yeah.
We started going to some steeper terrain, and we ended up finding 2 young bulls. Little bulls.
Little ones?
Yeah, but still shooters. They're legal. And Uncle Steve and I went up the mountain to go kind of chase after them. And by the time we got up to where we thought they were at, we couldn't find them no more. And I ended up doing some cow calls. I started working up Uncle Steve and I got pretty high up the ridge, and we split up a little bit. He went to my right and I went to his left, and we kind of corralled back and forth. And then eventually I saw Uncle Steve. He was probably about 45 yards away from me, no further than that, right?
Yeah.
And I did the cow calls, and I saw those 2 young bulls coming at us like 200 yards away. I saw them coming from the skyline, and they were coming in hot. I was like, oh crap. So I just hid behind like a little fallen log, and I just kept doing the cow call, and I told Uncle Steve, I was like, hey, I see them. They're coming right at me. So Uncle Steve, imagine I was like right here, and Uncle Steve was behind me. He flanked behind me, and there was a knob that was up here. He got up on the knob, and the elk were coming right around this knob. And Uncle Steve kind of didn't really have a good idea of where they were at as well, and I couldn't give a good description. So we weren't in the best position, but we were in a pretty good position. Could have been better.
Basically, I tried to go flank around, and I was behind this big old stump, and the bull did come up to the call where Tommy was at his position, and I was within about 30 yards where I saw him walk towards Tommy's way. I could see his antler, I could see his back, and then it basically felt our presence, especially mine, and then it jumped back. So it just turned around and jumped back, but then they didn't bolt it. And so cool thing about this is that these 2 bulls, since we spotted them first and we called them in, I mean they weren't even like bugling or any of that. Like, we weren't even able to locate them. So prior to us getting there, from what we were told by the locals, is that everybody's been struggling on the second week, so they weren't bugling anymore. So finding these bulls in the high country, like with them not bugling or being able to locate, even though we've covered a whole bunch of miles of it, we weren't even able to locate them unless we saw them visibly. And the good thing about it is that the weather's been on our side in a way where it's been thunderstorming, and we were in hailstorms and really downpour on the thunder and lightning. That it gave a new fresh set of grounds for us to see clear fresh tracks. So we were able to see whether or not they were there or not. So those 2 bulls, we were very fortunate to locate them, or to basically spot them, and then go in to do the stop. At the same time, we did do our part in calling them in, and we did get the opportunity to almost pull the trigger on it on Tuesday.
We had a strong feeling that they probably were still going to be around, so we didn't chase after them to try to increase our odds of coming back the next day and seeing them. We're going on to day 3 now. It's been quite tough for us. We got a good stock in this morning on two young bulls. We rushed up the hill and we couldn't find them no more, so I decided to bugle. Uncle Steve and I kind of split off, and I just saw them coming running at me. I was able to call them, and they came about 60 yards from me, but we weren't set up properly, and Uncle Steve was still trying to get into position, and the bulls were already kind of skeptical. Yeah, they heard Uncle Steve and just spooked, took off. Tried quite a few different type of territories, countries. So far today is the most productive. A lot more signs. We see rubs, a lot of heavily used game trails. So I think we got a better idea of what kind of terrain these elk are hanging out at. So we're gonna focus these areas for the next couple of days because it seems like they like steeper and a little bit more open country. That's pretty much been our highlight of this trip so far, because when Uncle Steve spooked them, he said all he saw was the antlers over the little hump, and he was within 30 yards. If we were set up properly, we probably would have harvested an elk, but they just came in so hot that we didn't have time to set up and communicate. So we have a better idea of the terrain that they like hanging out in, and we're liking this country a lot more. So we're gonna go ahead and hunt these terrain hard. Today it rained a lot. Right now the sun's just barely coming out, but about 15 minutes ago it was very gloomy, pouring rain. So we've just been kind of driving around all day, trying to get a better idea of where they're at. I'm taking a look at the country over here so that tomorrow we can go ahead and hit the ground hard and try to locate where these elk are at. So that's the update as of now. Right now we're just taking a lunch break. The guys over there are glassing up some deer that they saw, so we're gonna eat out lunch and find a good spot to hunt the elk for the evening. So that's the update. We came back the next day super bright and early. Sun wasn't even up yet. We got to the really treacherous ridge that we had to climb up, and we made it up there perfectly, like at a good time.
Yeah, we went back to the drawing board and decided that, yeah, let's go back and give it one more try to see if they're still there, because they didn't really see us. They may have just felt our presence. So when we got up there that morning, we got up to the position where we last saw them the day before they bolted out. And we started making calls. As we were making calls and going up the hill, we spotted some deer in the mix. And as we kept on going up, we'd be calling every 10, 15 yards.
Yeah, just doing the cow bugle.
Just doing the cow call. And as we were doing the cow call, we got up to this really small knob, flat area. We were doing the cow call. Tommy and Brian.
We heard a twig snap on our left, and I just looked over. I saw the same two young bulls coming right at us. I was like, get down, get down, get down. Right here. Okay. We all jolted down. I grabbed Uncle Steve's bow off his back, and then yeah.
Yeah, we got it ready. We got the bow ready, knocked it. I think the two bulls they were curious. Instead of coming straight to us, they kind of flanked us too. So they were they were curious to see what was calling, what our calls were. So by the time I spotted the two bulls, they were about 30 yards, I'd say 30 yards, but they were still in behind a fallen tree. So all I could see was the head, and then it jumped out. Again, this is our first time doing this, so we're still kind of rookie and new to this. Yeah. And normally what you would do is call in the bull, knowing exactly where it's at. But in this case, they just showed up out of nowhere. They just showed up out of nowhere. Where we spotted them with the cracking of the stumps as they were stepping, coming our way, and as we got ready, they jumped out. They jumped out and ran about. I think they were ranging out to 60 yards. I was trying to get a range of it. Asking
I obviously kept asking what the range is, and I was just like, I can't find them in my rangefinder. And in the moment, you're just so, you got elk fever. You're so anxious, you're nervous, excited all at once. And then Uncle Steve just guesstimated how far it was.
Yeah, I drew my bow, and I was estimating they'd be at 40 yards. So when I stood up and I drew, one of the bulls was still there, and I thought that he was at 40 yards, so he was just standing broadsided. So when I shot it, you can see that the arrow hit low, which was a total rookie mistake. But after the bull took off, and we tried to call him back, and calling, they wanted to come back, but at the same time I think we got busted, so they saw us.
The bigger bull circled around and caught our scent, and then they just took off. So at that point we were like, as we were
reassessing the whole situation, we realized that it was actually at 60 yards versus 40 yards, so that's why we shot low.
That was way up there. That's what I'm saying. It was like 80 yards. It was way over there. Yeah. Good shit, Brian. Pull it out for me.
And it was a great learning experience. I think every day that we were out there, we learned more and more and more and more. And these two bulls gave us an opportunity to learn about them, and at the same time, they learned from us. So it's actually a win-win for both sides. And it was a great experience. Even though we weren't able to harvest one or be able to get one, but at least we were able to see it and out there in the wild, and using the calling and do it yourself, and that's what we were trying to do. We were able to get pretty close. We had opportunities, but it's okay. We live and learn from these opportunities or mistakes that we made. And so I think the rule is knowing where you're at when you are in elk country. If you see scats, you see signs, but if they're not there, you call them, they're not there, that just means that there was a change in weather, there was a change in the moon that
pressure
caused, as well
has a huge
that caused these animals to pretty much sign. It's like fishing. I tell the boys this, it's like fishing, right? You don't see them boiling more, but then they're there. The fish are down there. Yeah. And so because they're boiling, you'll see them visually. You'll know where they're at. Well, guess what? When we went, they weren't boiling. So
they weren't bugling. Yeah.
And
they weren't bugling.
In other words, they weren't bugling, so we couldn't locate them. But again, it was a very, very great experience for us, and that we were able to go up there, be able to see the different types of terrain that they're in,
right,
and also to kind of see how they live as well. So rule is, during the day, look for north-facing mountains. Right. That's where they'll be bedded in the shade. When you go in there, you can see signs of them scats. You can see their trails. You can see the beds. You can see the wallows. You can see where they've been laying. And so it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to see it. It's just the country's so big that it's just a matter of time. So keep at it and keep going out there and don't give up. So at times you feel defeated. You're like right there and getting it. So we were pretty much right there. We learned a lot from that.
Yeah, it was an awesome experience, and we look forward to rifle season.
Yeah,
right.
We are. Look forward to rifle season. It's not the end. I know the archery season is a good starter, and I really miss my rifle during that time. But I'm looking forward to go back again in November when the rifle season starts. So
Absolutely.
to be continued.
Yep. I think that'll wrap it all up. That was pretty much it for the trip. So.
Yeah, that's our first Montana trip of 2. So
Yep.
stay tuned for the next one.
Woo.
Yep.